Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is in the hospital today after fracturing 3 of her ribs in a fall at her office Wednesday night. Justice Ginsburg reportedly went home after the fall and experienced discomfort overnight. She was admitted to George Washington University Hospital this morning and placed under observation. The 85-year-old justice has suffered from a number of health complications in the past, including 2 broken ribs in 2012. Ginsburg also survived several fights with cancer and underwent heart surgery in 2014. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. Jon LaPook joins us now for more on Justice Ginsburg's injuries. Dr. LaPook, so great to have you here. Hearing that Justice Ginsburg had already suffered from broken ribs in the past, is it likely that she refractured or broke the same ribs?
Probably not, unless she was really unlucky. Once those ribs heal, and any bone fracture heals, tends to be fine and quite strong. But it sounds like I guess she tripped. We don't really know all the details of it. She fell. She thought she was okay. I hear this a lot. You know, I'm an internist and a gastroenterologist, so people go home. And then the problem is that when you take a breath, your ribs expand. They go like this, like a barrel opening up like that. And so 12 to 15 times a minute, you're having those ribs move, and it hurts.
That
and so finally,
painful.
after a while, you say, I better get some help.
But gee, I can't believe she didn't feel it. She's so tough as nails. I mean, I look at her and I see the videos of her working out, and I think, my goodness, she went home after breaking her ribs. How hard is it, though, for a person of her age to recover fully from something like this?
Well, you know, the older you are, the tougher it can be to recover from things. But what are we afraid of here, right? First of all, it hurts.
Right.
So that's the first thing. You want to have some pain medication, maybe some nonsteroidal anti-inflammatories or Tylenol, things like that. Over time, over a week or two, and it can take a long time for these things to heal, the pain goes down and she should get totally better if nothing else happens. The risk is that because it hurts to take a deep breath, one of the risks is you don't take that deep breath. And if you don't expand your lungs completely, then the base of the lungs especially can collapse a little bit, and you can have pneumonia. You can have a predisposition to pneumonia.
So they will be watching her for that very closely. What will her recovery process look like? Do you have a cast if you have broken ribs?
No, generally not. I mean, if it's just a normal type of fracture where nothing's displaced, they may give her gently these sort of incentive spirometry, meaning these things that you sort of blow into gently to try to encourage you to take a deep breath, take a deep breath, or to blow out. And the idea is I know you don't want to take a deep breath, but really take a deep breath slowly so that you don't get that complication. And then also, I think they'll probably talk to her. You know, if they're smart, which I'm sure they are, they're going to go around that room and say, was there anything that was causing her to trip? Was there a rug that sort of was curled up in the end? Just because she's a Supreme Court justice, that doesn't immunize her against having the same kind of typical falls that the rest of us can have.
Now, a fracture normally takes, 6 weeks to fully heal? Something around that?
It differs from person to person, but I think by several weeks, she should be feeling pretty well, and then gradually get stronger and stronger and stronger.
And can she continue her work throughout this process?
She should be able to.
Can she go to work tomorrow? What's the...
Well, if she were my patient, which she is not, I want to point out, I might say, look, take it easy and just make sure that you're not short of breath. There are other complications that are much more rare. I mean, you can puncture a lung depending upon how the fracture went. You can injure organs. I think it happened on the left side, so the organs on the right side are safe. Yeah. If you have something unusual happening, you can sometimes damage other organs there. But, you know, she is tough, but she is 85. So I think you have to just take it easy and make sure that she's not short of breath. And I'm sure people will be taking a good close look at her.
By all accounts, and certainly if you watch that documentary of her, she loves to work. She's a workaholic. She works late at night. She loves her job. So I'm sure she will not be sitting idle for long.
And staying active is a good way to prevent falls, because you want to move around, you want to move those arms, you want to do all the things that we saw in the documentary. And there are other things that can help with balance, you know, things like ping pong and ballroom dancing and yoga. And I always encourage my elderly patients to really keep active and to make sure that they keep well lubricated so that they're not going to fall down. But I do really encourage people to try to elder-proof your home. You know, go around looking. You know, are there cords that are out there where you can trip over? Are there? Take a look at getting in and out of the shower or the bathtub or off the toilet seat. Is it too low? There are things that you can put on it that make it easier for you to get up.
Is it unusual that this happened in her office, a place where she sort of knows the layout? She's been there a lot,
Not unusual at all. It tends to happen at home, right?
Yeah.
A lot of accidents happen around home. And sometimes you just, you figure you know it pretty well. I once in the middle of the night got up, out of bed, walked right into the wall, and just
broke your nose? I hope not.
I didn't break my nose, although it might look like it. No, I had a cut that almost needed stitches. So it can be dangerous just right around your home.
Well, my money's on RBG. I think she's going to recover quickly and be just fine.
She has to stay healthy and don't fall again, because in the elderly, it can be even more serious. You can break a hip, so she needs to be careful. But on the other hand, keep going.
Absolutely. Dr. Jon LaPook, thank you so much for coming to see us.